Okay, hi everyone. This is Daryl here. So this is lesson 3 in my YouTube series Investing 101, and today we're going to talk about this thing called leverage. Okay, so leverage is simply borrowing capital to invest. Okay, so leverage can increase the potential return on an investment, but it can also increase the potential loss of an investment. So when buying property, most buyers employ leverage by getting a housing loan. So if you take a loan from the bank to purchase a property, you are using leverage. Okay, so now let's take a look at how leverage can help property buyers to purchase a property. So example 1, we assume that there's no leverage. So a property price is $1 million, and let's say this buyer wants to buy this property for $1 million. If he cannot take a loan, there is no leverage available, then the buyer must pay $1 million in full. Okay, few people will have such resources, and most will actually need to use leverage to afford a property. Okay, now the second example will be, let's say we assume there's 75% leverage. That means that banks are willing to loan 75% of the purchase price to this buyer. Okay, so if let's say this buyer purchases a property for $1 million, he needs to put a down payment of 250,000. Then he will take a housing loan from the bank for 750,000. So that 750,000 is his leverage. Okay, and 3 years later, right, let's assume that he sells the property at 1.2 million. So averagely, we're talking about 7% growth per annum, and his profit is 200,000. Okay, without leverage, right, he could never have afforded this property. But with leverage, he could actually afford the down payment, which is 250,000, and then his housing loan is granted by the bank to for him to finance the other 750,000 of the purchase price. Then he has access to this 200,000 profit. Okay, so leverage allows individuals to afford big ticket items like a property. Okay, so without leverage, right, the individual will not have access to make the type of returns that he or she did in that example. Okay, so like just now, the example that I showed you, that profit which that property owner made, yeah, that could never have happened without leverage. So leverage within your financial means is okay, and do not over leverage yourself. Okay, so that's all for today. Thanks.